Welcome to Modern Homestead, Alaska. I am Jessica. If you have been around here for quite a while, thank you so much. You are greatly appreciated. I am just absolutely in awe of each and every one of you that show up week after week to watch these videos. If you are new here, will you give me just a second to introduce myself? We are a family, a working modern homestead in South Central Alaska. We started building this homestead in the summer of 2021, and therefore it is in its very early stages of being built out. In this channel, you will find that we as a family work on preserving, procuring, and producing all of our own food, as well as the many projects that go into the channel, and then the Alaska adventures that we go on. I hope you find something that you enjoy in this channel. And without any more, let's get into today's video. If this is your first time, welcome to my garden. As part of the Every Bit Counts challenge, the whole goal, the whole premise is to preserve something, some way, every single day for the month of August. This is video number 2. I came out yesterday and we did a bunch of garden cleanup. That's in video 1, as well as we threw a bunch of green onions and some garlic scapes in the freeze dryer. The freeze dryer is still going for about an hour. My goal on the channel, just so you know, my personal goal is to run that freeze dryer every single day for the next month. I would like to get it running. I want to do some canning. I want to do some drying of herbs and some tinctures and lots of different things. And so all we're gonna do is come in, breeze around, and figure out what needs to be dealt with today. I, however, have already done that. You're in luck. I know what it is. It's broccoli. Broccoli here in Alaska goes to seed very quickly. I get my broccoli seed from a seed company called Denali Seed Company, and this is a slow bolt variety. What that means is the broccoli is not just going to send out the flowers and go to seed. However, some of these heads are huge. Then the other thing with the broccoli is once we clip the heads, the broccoli will work very much like a Brussels sprout, and it'll send out heads around the broccoli, and we will be able to get second harvest. So I'm not going to take the entire plant out. We're simply going to clip the broccoli heads. I've recently got a ton of questions on this apron. I just got it out of the washer because it smelled like an onion from when I did the onions. Anywho, it zips up and it makes a harvest apron. It has 2 pockets in the front, and then it has a pocket in the back to hold tools, gloves, things like that. And instead of trying to carry the basket, reach in there with my hands and pull out all of the broccoli, we're gonna put them in our pocket here. It has little gnomes on it. How cute is that? Okay, so all we do to harvest broccoli is take our clippers. Let me get you. We're gonna just take our clippers. We're gonna reach in here, and we don't want to take anything that would regrow. All right, so that looks good. We're gonna clip the center out. We have that. Now, if you can see right down here, there's little tiny broccoli heads coming up all throughout the plant. In our basket, and we go. Now see these? So this is what we were trying to avoid. This is the broccoli. It is flowering. It's going to seed. All the other broccoli is nice and tight. This one was way under, and I had just cleaned up this row yesterday, so I hadn't noticed that this one needed to be harvested a bit earlier. And that is exactly why, even if they're smaller heads, we have so much daylight, we do have to clip them early. So this broccoli head down here, I had clipped a while ago in a different video, and this is what I'm talking about. It sends out all these other little broccolis that we can now harvest, these tiny heads, but those will freeze up perfectly well. My pockets are completely full on broccoli, and then that's all we have ready to harvest today. Like I said, the one went to seed, and that is what we were trying to avoid, so I'm super glad that we grabbed onto that right now. The other thing is if you grow zucchini, you know, I don't like those giant fat ones. They get real airy inside of those zucchini, so I like to cut them when they're a little bit small. So every single day during this season, you have to come out, because the zucchini will go from this to harvest overnight, literally overnight. We are good in the garden, so we're gonna check the greenhouse zucchinis. These have been a little bit of a struggle. I shared that in the last video. I had no idea when we did zucchinis that it stunted their growth, putting them outside a little bit, but then they've like way taken over. But the ones that were put in the greenhouse grew really, really quickly to about the size they are, and then they have been done. And we'll just take a peek. All right, so we have just our small harvest of broccoli, but that is perfect. It's at least a couple of meals for us this winter. We're gonna head inside and process it. All right, let's get started with the zucchinis. I'm gonna use the food processor on, sorry about that, on the grate setting, and I'm going to freeze dry this zucchini. So this is the next thing that's gonna pop into the freeze dryer. What our goal is I watched my friend Becky at Acre Homestead. She uses freeze-dried zucchini in order to make like tzatziki sauce and different things in the middle of the winter. And so I thought, you know what? Let's try that first. That be the first big project we do with the zucchini. And so what we just want to do is chop the zucchini small enough that it will go into the grate setting on the food processor. Let's get chopping. judge the size of the bowl necessary. So we're just gonna wrap this up, and then I'm gonna find something heavy to kind of sit on it for a little bit, only because it's gonna be a bit before the freeze dryer is ready. So moving this, look at, oh my gosh, put that on the straps. Look at the amount of liquid just in the time it took us to grate it that's already coming out. So we're gonna wrap this, set it to the side. All right, let's get started on the broccoli. We are gonna blanch and freeze the broccoli. All right, I went ahead and rinsed and cleaned up the broccoli, and this floured one would be really bitter, and so it's gonna go in the chicken bowl. But the rest of it, we're gonna go ahead. The only thing I'm not gonna use, I'll use the stems because they're young and they're easy to eat. And so I'm gonna put a decent little dice and then try and leave the heads whole. Show you that. Just pull the leaves. All right, and we get this whole bowl cleaned up. Let's go ahead and start filling the freeze dryer trays. I have the lids for my trays, so I have two sets of trays. The ones that are in the freeze dryer right now, and then a second set. And what that allows me to do is get one prepared while the other one is in the freezer. So trying to get as much liquid out is really gonna speed up the freeze drying process. But we simply want to do a single layer. We want to try and get as much as we can since we're going to be running the power of the freeze dryer. And so let's start there. And this is just one day of zucchinis that we're pulling out of the garden. And that makes you wonder, like, okay, how much are we actually going to get? All right. And then we'll spread them out, but I can't stack them without a lid. Blanching is quite simple. Hot, salted water. The vegetable of choice, in our case today, broccoli, goes in. It goes for a couple of minutes, and that's going to depend on the vegetable. Directly from here, let's first get that a little stir around. And look at the color as it changes. So that... And after just a couple of minutes, it's all floating, the water. We're gonna take the broccoli directly straight from the boiling water, and over here I have a bowl of ice water. We're gonna shock it. We're gonna stop the cooking process when we're bright green like that. right, so we have our ice cold shocked broccoli. We're gonna just put it straight on a clean kitchen towel. My towel's a little bit stained, but I just totally ruined the one that I put the zucchini on. And so using lots of towels. So we just wanna kind of dry it off a little. All right, and then from here, our dry broccoli, I think I'm gonna divide it into 3 bags and use the food saver instead of the chamber vac. The chamber vac is very, very heavy, and so I try and use it only in the basement. So we're gonna label it with the year, and I'm gonna divide this in a 1/3. All right, I tried to get them as even as I could. Perfect. And then we're gonna seal them up. All right. All right, we have our 5 trays of zucchini and our 3 bags of broccoli. I'm gonna head these down to the basement. I thought maybe I would take you through my food storage a little bit at a time and just show you in each video, wherever I happen to be storing the items, what I keep in that area. So we'll go look at my fruit and vegetable freezer. This nifty but fairly small deep freeze I got from Costco. I've been asked before to link it, and I have no clue how to link something at Costco. I saw it in like a Vine or a short that someone had posted, and I thought that is the perfect way to store fruits and vegetables, and let me show you why. It's all drawers. And so what I'm able to do is to come in here and organize all of the fruits and vegetables by type. So I have all of, you get these from Costco, the big bags of mixed vegetables. I have some rhubarb and some pumpkin in here. I have some kale or spinach, different things. But we did run out of broccoli from what I had harvested before, so we did get some packs of broccoli at Costco recently. And so I'm able to just put all of it by like items into this freezer. And then a little bit of what the goal is this year is to come through here and items maybe that we're just not really eating them currently, I want to move them to the freeze dryer, giving them a much longer shelf life. So, with that said though, our 3 packs of broccoli are gonna go in here along with some green beans that we have left over. And there we have it. So, this is one of the many layers of our food storage. If you're interested in seeing all of the other layers, like my pantry and our long term, the other freezers, I have 3 more chest freezers. One's chicken, one's fish, and one is all of the other things. If you want to see all of that, hit the subscribe button so that you're tagging along and you know exactly what we're doing. If you ring the bell, it helps YouTube know to notify you that we've posted a video. I know without ringing the bell, and even sometimes when someone rings the bell, they still don't get notifications or my videos don't pop up. So do what you can if you want to see everything going on here. Follow the hashtag #EveryBitCountsChallenge. Don't only do that, join us, won't you? At home, would you spend the next month just adding something, one thing, every single day to your food storage, your food preps, in order to be ready for any emergency, the winter coming up, or like we've said before, ours has been put to the test. We went 6 months without being able to go to the grocery store, and I still have freezers of food, and that's because we diligently worked on the food storage ahead of time. So won't you join us in doing this and meeting that challenge? I would love to hear from you and what you're doing. You can leave a comment, but if you have some recipe ideas, especially what am I gonna do with the rest of the zucchini? Do you have a zucchini relish recipe, something like that you'd like to share? My email is in the description box. With that, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you find something to be grateful for at your home and in your life this week. And I hope you're blessed. With that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. While the freeze dryer is still going, I'm just gonna pop these in here. It'll just help the freeze dryer along. And I don't want them just sitting out on the counter.